Hello everybody, I am Chris Hardeen, your Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint social media manager, making sure that we're live and that we have some people on. We're very excited today because we have our friend Anna Price from Skylark House that's going to be sharing a great project with everyone on making a centerpiece for your spring table. I will introduce Anna when she is on. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, I am the retail manager. I'm sorry, not the retail manager, the social media manager for the brand. I have been with the brand for about 7 years now, selling the paint in 2 shops in the Peoria area. And then I also have items. I sell the products online at my own company, Midwest Cottage and Finds. And I'm very excited because I launched a new website today at midwestcottageandfinds.com. So I have some fun things there, some vintage finds that hopefully some of you could go check out after the live today. And once we're done with that, I hope to see you over there. Now, we have Anna Price from Skylark House. Anna has been restoring and refurbishing furniture for a little over 10 years now. She's a New York gal, and she has a awesome blog, skylarkhouse.com. Now, every time I go there, I find something even more interesting than the time before. This past week, I found a post that she had on cod bottles, which in all my years of hunting and gathering, I have never found a cod bottle or even knew what they were. So you need to go check out her blog. Anna is here and she wants to join us. So we will get her on here. Everything with us that she has today. So this usually takes a second for it to... There she is!
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited to have you here. I was telling everyone, I always go to your blog, and this past week I went and I found your blog about cod bottles.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
now,
hold on. I have one right here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Is the marble in it?
Yeah, so can you hear the marble?
That's amazing. That is absolutely, that is so cool, Anna.
And then, so they were filled with fluids that, had bubbles in them. So they were carbonated. It could be beer or seltzer water or ginger ale. And then what happened is, they were filled upside down. And then when you turn it right side up, the bottle, the marble would flip to the top and it sealed it. So that's how they kept it carbonated. And that's one reason why soda bottles are called pop, like soda pop, because when you push the marble down, it made a popping noise.
That is amazing.
Anyway,
everybody, you have to go to Anna's blog on skylarkhouse.com. She has the greatest posts. She has some great DIY projects, and she has some very interesting things like the cod. Now I'm going to have to start collecting them. They're so cool. They've got that cool kind of bluish taste to them, and it's a great story. It was really, really interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was very cool. So, what do you have in store for us today?
Yeah, so I want to share with you guys how I created a spring centerpiece. But before I get started, I just want to have a disclaimer. I only have half a screen to work with today, so I don't know what you guys can see or what you can't see. So if you're having trouble seeing what I'm showing you, just let me know, and I'll try to pick it up or put it before the camera, okay?
Okay, perfect.
But
I'll move my
let me
light.
show you, first of all, what we're aiming for, right? So can you guys see this?
Oh, yes.
Okay, this is the spring centerpiece, right? So basically, it's a tray. It has 2 bunnies in it. There's some moss, and then I just kind of put some flowers in around them.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So that's the centerpiece. And what I want to show you today is how to make these bunnies, right? So these are the after version of the bunnies, right? And it started off as just like a resin bunny. I don't know if you can hear it. It's just like a plastic, really hard plastic bunny. I got it from a big box store, but I like the shape, but I wasn't that crazy about the finish, right? Because it looks like a little too plasticky for me.
Right. Yes. Yep.
But they're really nice to have, like they're weighted on the bottom, so they feel really solid, which is something, it was just a nice characteristic. So I decided, I'm going to take this home, use some milk paint, and see what I can do with it. So that's what I did. So first of all, I want to thank Ms. Mustard Seed Milk Paint so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate just being afforded the opportunity to share this with you guys today. It's awesome. And I want to give Chris Hardeen a shout out, you guys. She's so awesome. She's thinking about things for this video that was not even on my radar. So Chris, I could not do this without you. I need to say that out the gate.
Well, thank you very much. It's been fun working with you, and I love the project. I'm so excited to be able to share it with everybody. I just wish I could figure out a way to make my screen a little smaller so we can make it bigger.
We gotta figure this out.
I mean, I only Googled it for like 48 hours straight.
Right.
But I will figure it out.
I know. We have to be adaptable, though, right?
Yes. And you will have this up on your blog, right? You'll have a post about this?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do actually is, if for some reason today, like we go through this live video and you guys miss a step or need more information, next Friday, there will be a blog post on the Miss Mustard Seed website that walks you through all of the steps on how to create these centerpieces.
Perfect.
So just hang tight, and next Friday, go check out the Miss Mustard Seed Milk Paint website, and there will be a blog post about how to do this stuff.
Yeah, and I'll share it here on Instagram. I'll share it on our feed, everybody, and then I'll share it in our stories as well. We'll get it out there for you.
Okay, awesome. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to kind of jump into things and get started. So just as a refresher, there's this bunny we can create, and this is almost like a concrete or stone little rabbit, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's concrete now. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other one is this little guy here, and I'm trying to, I hope you guys can see the details.
Oh, look at that.
So see,
like a vintage chippy look to it.
Right.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, you can see all the crackling and, you know, so how there's a little bit of flaking. So those are the two bunnies we're going to make today. You can pick one or the other. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little plastic guy here, and we're going to take some 150 grit sandpaper, and you're just going to sand them, right? You're just going to rough up your bunny. And make sure you get into all of the like crevices, the corners, and the goal here is just to create what we call tooth. So when you have a surface that's roughed up like this, the paint sticks to it better. And that's the goal here, just to kind of go around and rough it up, you know, get into the corners. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just basically to rough it up, right? Now this bunny, in preparation for the video, I already sanded it, because you guys don't want to hear me sand for like 10 or 15 minutes, right?
Plus, we don't want to keep them on all day.
Right.
Anna and I had that discussion. How much should we show? How much should we preview?
So,
kind of like Oscars when they give the other awards before everything. So
right.
We did the pre-work for you, ladies and gentlemen.
So then I just like take a damp rag and I just wipe it down, because it has, you know, kind of like the dust and stuff on there. So you want to, kind of, you know, just wipe it down and get rid of it. Make sure it's clean. Right? All right, and then we are going to go mix up our milk paint.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to show you guys the bag. Okay, can you guys see the bag?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Miss Mustard Seed Milk Paint, their new formula. They have reformulated their milk paint, and you guys, it's awesome. I have been using this product consistently at least for 5 years. So I refurbish furniture, and milk paint, in particular this brand, is my first choice when I'm refurbishing furniture and I want to paint it, or if I want to use a wax, or if I want to use hemp oil. It's my first choice because it's non-toxic. So, you know, I have an environmental background. I have pets. You know, I have nieces and nephews. There's elderly people in my life. So I want them to be around for as long as possible, right?
Mhm.
So as much as possible, I try to use non-toxic and natural products. And I challenge you to look around in the marketplace and find another product that is as non-toxic and natural as this milk paint.
Well, thank you. The owners worked very hard on the reformulation, and they had a lot of thousands of hours behind them when they decided to do this and to pick the products that they wanted to use to make sure everything was eco-friendly was top priority. So to hear someone say how important that is to them, it is refreshing, especially in this day and age when you don't know a lot of times what's in what you're using. But we're full disclosure. You can look on the bag; it'll tell you exactly what's in it, and you're good to go. So thank you, Anna. I appreciate that.
Sure, yeah. So there's all kinds of certifications. There's like a QR code you can scan and give you more information. So it's amazing. So not only is it non-toxic, but the new formula, when you mix it up, I don't know if you guys can see this again, is really, really smooth. So one of the things about milk paint is it comes in a powder form. I think you guys probably all know that. And you have to mix it with water. So, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So you use a quarter cup of powder milk paint, and you can use a quarter cup of water, right? And then you mix it up. Now, the other brands of milk paint, or even the previous version of Miss Mustard Seed milk paint before it was reformulated, sometimes you get like these little chunks in the mixture, and you just have to like keep mixing up and use a whisk sometimes to break it up.
Yeah.
And my personal approach is that's just the way it is, right? You just accept it and you move on. I have noticed with this new formula that is almost non-existent. And then once you mix it, you don't have to keep going back and stirring it. So I wanted to get that in there too, because it's pretty impressive.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's good to hear. And of course, all of us that retail it and have been working with the new formula, we love it, and we love the new easy mix.
Right.
But it is also good to hear that someone else feels the same way. So thank you.
All right. So going back to our project. So you want to mix up your milk paint, right? So again, I did about probably like a quarter cup of milk paint and a quarter cup of water, and I let it, mix it up and let it set for a little bit. Now, this is like a critical point. So if you want this little chippy, kind of crackly, vintage looking bunny, you do nothing. You just use the paint as it is, right? If you want this little concrete, kind of smooth looking bunny, then what you're going to do is you're going to add something called milk grip. And milk grip is just a bonding agent. And all it does is it helps the paint adhere to whatever surface you're painting. So again, the only difference between these two bunnies is same colors, same paint product, same process. This bunny has milk grip. This bunny does not. And it really just depends on the look that you're going for. So
they're both adorable. I love them both. They're so cute.
Okay, so now we're ready to start painting, right? So you guys let me know if you can't see me or if things get cut off. All right, so I have my paint all mixed up here. And I'm just going to take my little bunny here and start putting it on, right? Got to make sure you get his little toes. Get in the cracks and everything. And it won't take very long, maybe, I don't know. Usually it dries within 30 minutes or so, depending on humidity and temperature. But I want to show you a little tip, a little tactic that I use.
Okay, that's always good to know. Once someone's done the project, there's always something to find out why while you're doing it. Oh, yeah. We had a question. Somebody is asking, what type of brush are you using? Did you see that you had one that was specific, or was it just the one you grabbed?
So I I just grabbed this brush. I
Okay.
use zebra brushes. This is the one that has a short handle.
Okay.
But I've had this brush, I'm not kidding, for like 3 or 4 years. So I buy them, but I like their products. They're a little expensive, but their brushes last forever as long as you take care of them. So they're fabulous for application, very uniform application. You don't get like the drag marks, or you don't get the little bristles that fall out or whatever. So anyways, okay.
And it's Zebra, Z-I-B-R-A, or Z-I-B?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, yes.
Yes, yep.
That's correct.
I just want to make sure and somebody asked what color of paint you're using.
Oh, that's a great question. I'm using Farmhouse White.
Okay.
Which is, I'm guilty of using a lot. Just ask my family. Okay.
And we had a question, how do you clean your brushes?
Oh, well, okay, so I have a little tip for that. You guys are, I don't know if anybody else does this. I just use a fork from my kitchen. Yeah, and I just, kind of scrape it out. I find that they work great. They get in between the bristles, and that's just something I use. I'm sure it's not professional, but that's what I do. I find it works great.
Well, and if you've had the nice zebra brush for 4 years or 3 or 4 years, it obviously is working well. So
right.
Good tip.
Okay, so let's see if we can get this guy out.
And you're using Farmhouse White, but it could be fun if somebody used our light pink arabesque. That would be pretty.
Absolutely.
Or even some arabesque and maybe one of our pretty blue colors, our light blues would be beautiful. Because then depending on also what you're going to use it in your centerpiece too, kind of color coordinate with that. That'd be
right.
But the Farmhouse White sure looked really good. It truly looked like a concrete bunny, but when you showed it to us. Both times.
I was really impressed with how it turned out.
Now, for everybody that's just joined us, what we're doing, Anna is painting a resin bunny, and she used the same color, Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint in Farmhouse White. In one, she added our bonding agent, and the other she didn't. And it's one paint gave you 2 completely different looks, and they are adorable. And she lightly sanded. Anna, what was the sand? Was it like a 200?
I used 150.
150. Okay.
Sanding disc. Yep.
Okay.
So,
and you got the bunnies from a big box store, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So it rhymes with go-kart.
Okay.
Okay. So when you have your first coat of paint done, and you guys probably can't see because I only have half a screen here, but I'm going to take a blow dryer and I'm going to help it dry a little bit faster. And then one more thing, try to keep the nozzle of the blow dryer close to the paint, because that's going to create that kind of crackled texture. So I'm going to do that really quickly.
Yep. How much milk paint will one package make? That was a question that came through. Our paint comes in quarts and in pints, so all you need to do is determine if you're wanting a quart or a pint. I always get a quart, just because I'm always afraid I'll be at one. I need one more coat if I'm on my 3rd or 4th piece of furniture, and I want to make sure I have enough to do it. So that was just a question that came in. So how do we do with the blow dryer? Okay,
so I don't want to take all the time blow drying. It'll take about 5 minutes, but just go over it. And then what you're going to do is when it's dry, you're going to repeat that process. So paint another coat on it, blow dry it, right? And then when your bunny is completely dry, I'm going to set this guy aside here. What you're going to do, I'm going to use this little guy as an example. You're going to take some all-natural wax.
Perfect.
Which is here, I'll show this to you guys. Hopefully you can see it, right?
Yeah.
And again, this is an all-natural product. I really like it. If you've used other waxes on furniture, you'll notice that they have a very strong chemical kind of smell to them, and this does not. So that's one reason why I really like it.
Yep.
And you want to apply this first, because it kind of seals the paint, and it creates a more like even surface and protects it a little bit.
Yes.
Now, having said that, I'm just going to use these inside. I'm just using them for a centerpiece. I'm not going to go put these outside in the garden. If you do want to use them outside, then I would suggest you seal them with something that's going to have a more water resistant or waterproof finish.
Okay.
So that's just for consideration. So again, you just take a little wax brush, put some wax on it, and then you take your bunny, and I just usually go in circles, right?
Yes, yep. Now, did you find when you were putting your wax on, did more paint flake off, or was it pretty dry and you were able to pretty much just apply the pressure and...
That's a great question. For this guy, this is the more antique one, maybe a little bit came off, but generally no. I found that it actually adhered pretty well. So you just go around and you know, kind of circly put the wax on there.
Perfect.
And then I go and I use just like a fluffy towel, a rag, and then just kind of buff off any extra wax, right?
It's so cute. I love it.
This is a really important step because I'll show you what we do next, which is what creates the authentic kind of look. So this is an old can.
I've got them too.
This is proof I've been using these products for years, right? This is called antiquing wax. And just ignore my can because the packaging looks different now. But this is a well-loved product and well-used product. But I want to show you what it looks like. So after you apply the natural wax, you're going to apply this antiquing wax. And this is the magical step, you guys, because this wax, I'm going to go ahead and apply some, will pick up all those little areas here.
Oh, yeah, the little, yes.
Okay, so I'm just kind of working it into the area that I applied the clear wax. And again, I'll use my towel. You're just going to kind of buff it off, right?
Right, and then it adheres where some of the creases were, so it's still in the creases, and that's why it's like it's great.
That's the key. And I did the same process for the concrete bunny. And the reason I applied the antiquing wax for this guy is because when it was all white, it was like too bright. Like it didn't look natural, you know? So by applying the natural wax and then applying the antiquing wax, which kind of gets into the grooves, like you can see
perfect.
that's what gives it that kind of stone or concrete look to it. And when you apply the natural wax first and then the antiquing wax, it prevents, it doesn't get too dark, right? Because you already have a clear coat of wax on there. You get a much more uniform distribution of the darker wax. So it doesn't get too muddy or built up in any area. So that's just a little tip that I have. So I think that's it. After you apply your antiquing wax and you buff it off, you're pretty much done.
And for anybody that did join late, we are going to have this up on our blog post, and I will share that on our Instagram feed. I'll share it on Facebook. I'll share it in our stories. I'll make sure we tag Anna in it, so everybody make sure you go to see her at Skylark House, because you love this. Wait till you see, she has a moss wreath that I love. She has projects on there that are just fabulous. You will continue to scroll and scroll and scroll when she's find her stuff. So very good.
Also, before we sign off, I wanted to share with folks, I went ahead and applied this same technique to a couple other resin, like statues, because I wanted to show you guys how it could look for if you find a piece like at a yard sale or a thrift store or at a big box store. I wanted to give you some ideas as to how it could look, right? So here is a ducky that I did. He's plastic, you guys. I cannot imagine. I can't believe.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he came out so good, right?
So cool.
I can't believe this is milk paint, right? It's amazing. And then, so that's another kind of chippy one with a little bit more chippiness to it, right? And then I did this bunny too, and back up, right? Now, he is not chippy at all. So he has like a more uniform painted appearance. But I wanted to show you guys, can you see the basket?
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's...
And that's how the antiquing wax picks up all those details. So that's why you want to use it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share those other animals with you guys. So you
now, is he resin also? Is the
they're all resin. All of
they
them
look
are.
concrete. That's that's amazing. I know what I'm going to do this afternoon. I'm going to go to a store, grab some. That's cool. I'm excited. And everybody that was here, you saw it really didn't take much time. And a very good tip that Anna shared that I want to go back on. Make sure you use your clear wax first and then apply your antiquing wax. It does help you give a better look. It's
like a smoother, more uniform application. Yeah.
Yep, you can manipulate it a little easier, and I'm glad you shared that because sometimes people forget to share that. So,
yeah. So I think that's it. We're done.
Okay. I think everybody's heading out to. Cindy from Reinvented Delaware just said she's heading out too. So. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you guys. Have a fabulous Saturday, all right?
You do the same. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Okay, bye.